Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault, and that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the Dallas Cowboys, and he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line, and the Carolina Panthers.
Ready? 18 Gator.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. A check on Breida's numbers from last week. 11 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Now it's Breida, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vic Beasley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Throwing is Allen on third. Completes it to Samuel. 20, 10, touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turning into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the two tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. On first down, here's Freedom. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose, and it's picked up by the Panthers. Does the big boy have the juice? He's at the 40. He's at the 30. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the...
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
Here's Breida. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. The end result, 21 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. from 3 yards out as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
A lot of times when you take a tight end in later rounds, you're doing it with a little bit of hope, some potential. But not so with this guy. They believe he can really make an impact in the red zone, and he definitely makes good on that faith right there.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Touchdown, Carolina! Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Panthers strike quickly here for 6 points. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. Remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Bravo. Good.
51. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Mike, 51.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. On second down, a run with Breida. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
51 the mic. 51 the mic. Quit talking about it and bring it. Hey, check 25.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Complete to the running back, Matt Breida. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes...
And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Allen. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Looking to throw. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
It was Eric Reed in on the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got?
2nd and 9 now. Being chased out left. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Set 70, Indy.
They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him. Maybe even have a third person in the area and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. He'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Pilardi now on the punt as he sends this one away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. It's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, standing just outside his own goal line. Taken from just outside the 30. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, and he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Allen going to come to the line here, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he will find his man on the outside. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Panther first down. Allen now on first down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Curtis Samuel on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Fielded about a yard deep. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
2nd and 6. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him?
And now look at him go. The 20. 10, 5, touchdown, Carolina. Ian Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. He'll look to throw. Bryant has it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll drop the throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Watch the screen. Pass.
On play action, they'll throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt.
Let's go. Let's go.
As a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards, so many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be...
There he goes, left side, and he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his second touchdown of the night as his guys continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll set up a throw. Try to lay one up deep. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete. Eric Reed, the former LSU Tiger, making the play on the defensive side. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Hey, Delta.
Second and 10. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 44-yard line. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Terry Poe able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 28. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line.
It's been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Now Leonard Fournette. Jerry Atauchu brings him down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down.
Check 59.
They'll set up to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys get a bit closer.
That touchdown was for all the fantasy people out there. May not change the final outcome, but some points were scored, and maybe some of the people at home are really excited to get those.
No problem there on the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, it's like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered. It's both feet down for the completion.
And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
And he's out right at the 25. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
He's crashing.
They're going to try and throw. We're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
It's a gain of 4. Set. 60 or.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
5.
Now back to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 37. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. He'll will get this into the hands of Breida. A very solid gain of 27. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator is looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Cooper was the intended target, and it's third down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Back to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there if it's going to be tipped up.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown from 6 yards away. And the Cowboys cut into that lead.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe you're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Brings up 3rd and less than a yard.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. From the gun, it's Allen. Powerful running. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And now here come the Cowboys. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Let's go,
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. The throw over the middle taken in. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. He'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's caught by Bryant. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain there of 21 yards.
Come on, set, 30 base.
It's going to be a long...
Hey, do.
It's going to be a long day. Right here, guys. Fight 51.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Dontari Poe able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Matt Breida, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Allen down to a knee, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road. But there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to